Third and most important, track it. I don't want to use this forum to advertise about my company, what they are doing, but we are doing a lot in this field, but we are still, there is a lot to learn. We have some knowledge to share as well, but of course, given the 5-7 minutes time, I'm not going to now start talking about buyers' efforts in the direction of sustainability. However, you are welcome to touch base with us as an industry forum. We can always talk. This brings me to an end of my thoughts. I wish the Gubba family all the very best and I pray to the Almighty that you continue to grow the same way like you have been growing, and also best wishes to my colleagues in the seed industry. Thank you, Kiran. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. May I please call upon Mr. Mohan Rao, the rodent expert, to share his views, please.
Respected Nagendra ji, Mr. Kiran and Prashant, my co-speakers and the delegates of this session. I would like to thank initially the organizers, not for inviting me here, certainly for remembering an ignored pest and vector, that is a rat, in the field of seed preservation. Of course, when I say seed preservation, it need not necessarily be seed preservation. When you produce the seed, also there is a need for taking care of this pest / vector species. Now, when I have seen the challenges side, there are 10 commandments, 10 challenges that are likely to come from the rodents. First and foremost thing is loss of the seed through consumption. I have to go back to 1979 when I have addressed in a UNDP workshop at Delhi, when there was a detailed discussion, introductory talk I have given on the damage assessments in storage, which includes seed also. But today, when I have to say something about the loss due to consumption, we are in 1979 only. Whatever work that has been done earlier, before 1980, is the work that has stopped to make any assessment, a scientific assessment of the storage loss. I need not tell about the seed. But if we look at the figures that are available, the figures for India ranges from 1.7% to 2.5% damage. But there are also figures existing for other commodity storage, other seeds like maize and then millets. It is ranging from 5 to 8%. But mostly the data is available from very, very restricted studies. Certainly there is a need to assess the damage that is going on to seed in storage situations. Challenge 2. It is through contamination. What normally we miss to see is rodents by and large, most of them are carriers of the bacilli and virus of human diseases and also animal diseases. And unfortunately or incidentally, whatever rodent species we see in the storage premises are good vectors which can transmit the diseases to the humans who are around, who may be around. Now, I will give you a small example. In 2003, Suddenly, a chief health officer of Tirumala Tirupati Devasthanam, Tirumala, you must be knowing Balaji. He entered in my office and he informed me that there is a high court case. A pilgrim, who visited the storage premises of the laddus, he has gone to the court saying that there is contamination of the prasadam, and then in this way the diseases are being spread through the prasadam of the Lord Venkatesha. Then the TTD board immediately requested our ministry, and I came in picture, and I have made a survey only to find that 70 laddus per day is the loss in the laddu counters. But contamination side, all the trays were contaminated with urine and feces. Well, we could totally arrest the contamination and the feeding in 1 week time through certain measures. But what I wanted to say is, this contamination and the disease transmission is most often ignored, especially the disease like leptospirosis present throughout India of late, and recently scrub typhus in Hyderabad itself, more than 100 cases have come through the bacteria, are to be taken care when we think of. The third challenge that has come again is, you may ask me, when there is contamination, what is to be done? You identify, see, mostly it is through urine and fecal pellets because they mark the areas. Once you know the fecal pellets, you look at the fecal pellets, you can identify, number one, what is the rodent species. Number two, by the size, you can also tell what is the body weight of that particular animal, because body weight plays major role. Once you find that 40% of population is having body weight of approximately 120 grams, the population is going to increase. It is a reproductive age. If the body weight you find that it is only 40 grams, that means again that population will take another 3 months time to reach maturity, 2 months time to reach maturity. So a decision can be also be taken through in that way. And damage to material, I need not tell, you must have all seen. Although it is not documented in a scientific way. Then damage to equipment. Equipment damage is also very high, especially the cable damage, and the financial loss will be very, very high under such a situations. Then next question comes. Of course, Gubba storage, yes, they are not compromising for anything, and incidence of the rodents is at minimal level. But in most of the storage godowns, you find also the field rodent pest species existing around the premises, and which are again, of course, vectors also, but making serious damage. So that has to be also taken care of. Then next challenge comes, you know that there are rats, but what is the level of their infestation? How many are there? What is to be done? So this is another challenge, a serious challenge, which is very difficult to assess. But we have technology by which we can say that yes, the godown is having this much percentage, this much population, and it is spread over this time. There are different methods which we can follow. Then comes the next challenge is management practices. Unfortunately, what happens when it comes to rat is, even in your own house, when you see a rat, you will be tempted to use a trap if you are having trap, or you will purchase a poison in the market and you will give it. But rat may be eating it and it may die also. But that is not a solution. After 10 days again you will see another rat. That is the natural tendency of the humans. So when we go for management, we have to look at the permanent solution, especially storage, and that too seed storage, which is very expensive one. So management apt practices are to be identified, and we have to choose appropriate management measure for taking up. The next challenge that comes is major one, which is not known to many of the people, including the rodent scientists, is reproductive bouncing. This has been observed recently only. See, when you suppress a pest population, pest population will also bounce back. Rodents are having that character. Once you kill few individuals, remaining ones, the productivity will increase 2-3 times. And to quote an example, if a rat is giving birth to 6 young ones, but when you remove part of the population, suppose there are 10 rats only in a godown, you have kept the trap and removed 2 or 3. The remaining population, the females can give birth to 20 young ones instead of 6. This is called reproductive bouncing. It is happening. It is happening. Reproductive bouncing. So this is a challenge that has to be tackled when we make planning for appropriate rodent management measures. And lastly and most important is lack of appropriate capacity building. See, if you look at the training activities that are being conducted by a number of organizations, first of all, they will not say rodent, they will say rat. And immediately they will jump for zinc phosphide, aluminum phosphide, over rat control. But rodent pest management, rat pest management is manipulation of the behavior of the rat to avoid them as a problem. It is not application of a chemical. It is not application of a trap. Everything. It is manipulating the behavior to avoid them as pests. So with this technical approach, if we can go, not only the seed preserving organizations, but also seed producing organizations can also get better productivity, and certainly, as my other colleagues have explained, the food productivity or seed productivity can be increased to make more and more food available to the coming generations. So at this juncture, now I will acknowledge the Gubba family for giving me an opportunity of being before you, number one. Number two, to interact on the species which is most often ignored. I cannot say forgot, because you are in the field, you know that there is a problem, but it is ignored. Thank you very much for everybody. And I wish the Gubba family to get the 50th year celebration. I think I may have to come in this way at that time, after 25 years, if I am alive. Thank you very much.